I don't know. I don't want to say Christian exactly,
Hmm.
because that's kind of like a smart scope. But we are like not even religious, like a spiritual nation.
Thieves.
Yeah, theist nation. Like, you know, people who say that they're Christians or believe in a God of some sort and have that moral thing, they're still the majority. And out of the atheists, and this is from my personal
Yeah.
experience, they're mostly like Christians that are conflicted because they've seen something about Christianity that's made them really confused, and they're just like, well, I don't know about this anymore. So they're not even full atheists. They say that they're atheists, but I can see it in their eyes, like they still have that mindset in them.
Yeah.
So like they're not even dead set atheists. And then the dead set atheists are like, well, they're that. But in general, we still follow the same ideas. Like, hey, you kill someone, that's not a good idea. I
Hmm.
mean, if we had no morals, and I mean,
And
if God,
even an atheist knows killing is wrong.
like they still have their morals, and I mean, without God, who's to say that killing someone's wrong? It happens with the animals all the time. We don't call them wrong for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we still have our morals from God.
What about can an atheist be good without God?
It's like what he was saying, like our good deeds are rags. Like, sure they can do good deeds, but I mean, not you don't know what their motivation is. I don't know. That one's really ambiguous.
Yeah,
Was a-
I was about to. Yeah, I was just talking about. Is Christianity about being a good person? And it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good point,
it's
man.
never been about that. And I mean, honestly, I mean that question is loaded because it's not just atheists; it's agnostic, people who disbelieve, people who, whatever you are. I mean, I see the good in people, you know, but do I see God in people? That's two different things. I mean, because I think we have a hunger, a natural hunger for good deeds, a natural hunger for righteousness. I mean, sometimes it is for the wrong reason, sometimes it is for the right reason, but we try to do the right thing. We try to do the right thing, and if we can't, then we justify it, and boast about our evils. So I mean, it's I mean, I think that's a loaded question. I mean, I think morality is loaded too. I
Yeah.
mean, because people argue, that morality doesn't have to come from God. I mean, I heard that argument before, and personally, I do think morality does come from God. Um, I just feel like I came to that conclusion where when God was talking about how like, or even a person like a heathen, like a Viking, would even know the right things, right? He would know, and I came to like start really making sense of it, because does it mean like that person would know the specific laws of what not do not steal, do not kill, do not. But I was thinking like, well, everybody has a good and a bad. Like, food is good,
And
this is bad.
and
Everybody has a good and bad.
even the
Now,
Bible says that God has put His law in our hearts.
right. And so I think everybody has this good and bad. I think what the Bible does is help us to know what it is, to be more specific. That's where Christ is supposed to come in and guide us. Like, that's why as a Christian we give Jesus out. Because if you give Jesus out, then that person wants to do right for them own selves and not because you told them. And I think that's a real big difference. Because it becomes babysitting if I always have to tell you, okay, don't do that, do this, no, don't do that. Like that's babysitting. Is that Christianity though? You know, Christianity is supposed to teach you how to fish, so you fish for yourself. It's supposed to teach you how to pray for yourself, so you can pray by yourself. That's how I feel. Discipleship should work out. It's not supposed to be such a dependent thing of them telling you what's right and wrong. You're supposed to get Jesus from them and learn and get more specific and ask them questions, of course. But then you're supposed to also go by yourself and read the Word and pray, and because your relationship with God is your relationship with God. I can't speak on it because it's not for me to speak on.
Yeah.
I'm not. My position is no. It's not judge. That's God's position. Me, I'm just supposed to tell you the truth. Now, it's on you whether you receive it or not. But it. But it's still on me if I don't say the truth. so I have a duty to say it. Now it's up to that person. Now I think Christians get mad because they just rejected it or disregard it. So we all like, you don't want, and we find ourselves, in a tussle when that person is using his free will, and that's what God gave us, free will. Now we as Christians are supposed to give our free will to Him. Like that's a choice.
Yeah.
But if they want to eat from the forbidden tree, then they eat from the forbidden tree. I mean, you could say, like, the serpent didn't make Eve eat of the fruit. Yeah, he had his part in it, but he did not make Eve.
Yeah.
And he did not make Adam. Eve did not make Adam. Adam submit. People always just blame Eve, but it was Adam's fault too.
Yeah.
And so, it's both of them. And so it's just like, I mean, I can keep on talking.
No, go ahead.
Morality is just, it's a real issue. It's a hot topic.
Well, if morality doesn't come from God, where do you think it comes from?
I think it comes from.
Well, I mean, or what arguments have you maybe heard against morality coming from God?
I take philosophy, and of course in philosophy they always have the big question, well, does God really exist? Who is God? Is God a woman or whatever? All this stuff. And then they say, well, who is to say what is good and what is bad?
Yeah.
Why can't it just be what it is? And I think personally it comes from God, speaking, from a Christian's point of view. But if I wasn't saved, then I would think morality, good or bad, would come from the world.
Maybe like the culture you live in?
Yeah,
culture.
Coming from not just America, but like overall, in general, the world. Like in every country, you get punished for something. Like if you steal,
and it's pretty similar
East,
worldwide.
Yeah, like you think in the Middle East, if you steal, they cut the hand off, like your hand off. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be an armless dude.
Like, and some places, they have other rules. I'm not gonna get into all of them, but they have what's good and what's bad. So like if you do this, this is the consequence, good or bad. So it could either be man-made or from God, and I personally think it's from God, because He gives you that feeling of conviction, I guess you could say. I'm not really sure, but I know if you do something bad and you know it's bad, you feel convicted.
Yeah, your conscience.
Your conscience.
Yeah.
And just on that, being basically, morality is based off of culture, but it always comes down to the question then, who has the right to tell you what's good and bad? Like, because I'm the president, do I have the right to tell you you're wrong?
Well, that's the thing, though,
and that's, I don't know, people don't try to question it like that, I guess. But, who gave people the authority to say this is right or wrong? Because at the end of the day, you're human just like I'm human. You're going to bleed like I'm going to bleed. You're going to eat like I'm going to eat.
So I'm saying that you're admitting
you the right, yeah.
You're admitting that a person has value.
Yeah, and it seems like, we don't play, like, we have statuses, though. And I think that's what really makes a difference in our societies. We have status.
That's a good word.
But if we strip status, then I'm just as important as Obama is. If we strip statuses, then you can't tell me what's right or wrong, because you're on the same level as me, man. Like, and you just run out, like,
But what about the certain unalienable rights, certain things that you have been given the right to, that have been like the Constitution says, but that are endowed on you by your Creator?
The Constitution.
Well, I'm saying, like you said, there's a hierarchy of statuses here.
Constitution